Greetings from the Eccentric Man. If you follow me on Twitter, you'll see that there's been a little bit of talk about how small companies have been affected by the COVID-19 outbreak. They've used the Wargames conventions, so like Salute, Partisan, things like that, to get their products out and about and seen. And with the pandemic and the lockdowns, they've not been able to do it. So, what can they do? One thing they can do is to reach out to people on media. And that's what the makers of Pirates of the Dread Sea did. They sent me a copy and asked if I would have a look at it. And I said yes. And so what we're going to do in this video is have a little look at the rulebook, a little bit about the mechanisms of it, and look at the figures that have been produced for it. And also, at the end, give a bit of information about their latest Kickstarter, which is coming out on the 28th of July. So let's have a little look at the Pirates of the Dread Sea. First off, it is a pirate game, not based in a world and, oh, here's some pirates. It is all built around the pirates. An area in the world where there is gold planted, left, travelling around, and the aim of each warband, because it's a skirmish game, is to capture the treasure. And it's steeped in fantasy history. If you fancy some dwarf pirates, you've got them. Human pirates, you've got them. Undead pirates, you've got them. Sea folk called scryers, you've got them. Elves sailing the sea, you've got them. Trolls, orcs, they're all in the mix. And that's what the Pirates of the Dread Sea is about. It's about having a unit of crew by a captain or a first mate, and then you build up your warband, your pirate band. And it's based on a sort of a point system using gold and the like, and you can progress up through your skills and abilities. It's wide open, really. You can play one-on-one, multiplayer games, you can play one-off games, or you can play it as a campaign. So it is pretty wide open for any games that you want to try. So that's the Pirates of the Dread Sea. Bit more of the lore. Well, it's based on an ancient civilization that disappeared. So we've probably heard about things like that before. And the undead are taken from parts of that civilization. And the undead crews are brought to life by necromancer pirates. So that's a little taster of what there is. So perhaps what we can do is have a quick look at the book and have a look at two of the crew, and we can see what we think. I've got to spray them up afterwards and give them a paint job, and I'm hoping to get a game with John down at Lost Art Games as soon as we can get it sorted. But let's have a further little look at the book. And it's a very nice book. It's hardback. So yes, let's have a look and delve in. So here we go, let's try it out. So Pirates of the Dead Sea, a nice hardback book. Comes up with a nice little bit of art. Dedicated to Paul Chappell, the father of the authors. You get a nice little contents. Some nice artwork and a map of the area, the Dread Sea. And you've got your major landmarks, and each one of these is talked about in the overview of the rules. Some nice artwork. Goes through the races that I sort of mentioned before. So you've got your dwarfs, elves, orcs, the undead, goblins and trolls, ratmen as well, and Scryer, the Undersea, little Cthulhu shout out there. But it's very nicely laid out. It talks about the racers, and it talks about the crews, who can go with who. You can have mercenaries fighting in your pirate band. So it's really open. You can have dedicated races, or you can have races which are mixed. Some which shouldn't mix, but you can have mercenaries to give them to you. So it's really wide open to do what you really want to do. It gives you a list of gold coins and values for when you're putting your crew together. Yeah, that's a character card. Let's have a little look on this far side. So you get character cards that you can keep track of what your people are doing. So yeah, very nice. Rank and race and roll, so all things like that. Piracy characteristics. So it's an interesting thing, pirate characteristics. You have so many points to spend on them, but it has to balance up. So some of the talents are in the positive. So you might have a +1 to attack, but that would be 10 points that costs. But you've then got to balance it off with something else. So for a -10 points, they have to have a peg leg, and that means your speed would be reduced by 1, or rum soaked. And then once per game, any enemy can demand this character rerolls a successful attack or parry. So you can go for an advantage, but then you have to have some form of disadvantage as well. So it goes through the turn sequence, and the game sort of proceeds on a way of each player has a chance to use all their characters. And the move is called an act, and you can take 2 actions per turn, and certain things require an action to be carried out. But it's not all my troops will go first and then all yours. You roll for a sort of a leadership, an initiative, and the winner goes first, or you can make the other person go first, and then it alternates between each player moving one character. So it gives you a chance to do things. There's agility, there's jumping. That's a nice picture of the undead in the surf and the boats. So it's a very nice book. It covers fighting, shooting, great artwork. So it's all in there. Firearms table, weapons. And in the back, a campaign system. And some scenarios to play. So it's a well put together book, I think. I've had a read through and looks like it could be good fun. So let's have a look from the book, and let's have a look at 2 of the crews. First up, the humans. And your crews, particularly in the pre-rolled sections of crews, are 5 figures, led by a pirate captain or first mate or whatever you want them to be. And this is the pirate cast, white metal. Let's see if we can get a little bit more brighter on these to see the detail. So quite nice on the detail. Nice proportions. They're slotter bases. So I'm not over keen on slotter bases, but I've stuck the pirates in. As you can see, I've used a bit of green stuff and super glue to hold them together, and then I've used the Vallejo texture earth, brown earth. with a little bit of rubble, a little stones to sprinkle on top, and I'll paint these up into my sort of deserty island base that I normally do. So yeah, she's your leader, and she's got a parrot, and in this game your commanders can have pets and familiars, and they give certain traits to the pirate. So that's your captain. What I really like about the figures is that they've given you a mix of human races to give you a nice bit of diversity. Because if you think about the Caribbean and the pirates, I wonder where that comes from, Pirates of the Caribbean, what a strange thing. You've got many different colours of skin and races, and you've really got that opportunity in this set to replicate that, which is really nice to see. I've thought about inclusiveness. So yeah, that's a nice little sculpt. There was very little mould lines on them. And I've scraped them off. The hook hand, I think, could be a -5 points, or it could be a -10 points, because it's one of the pirate characteristics. But you can balance that off by having a plus characteristic. But yeah, I think they're going to be quite nice to paint up. Obviously with a peg leg, and we talked about that. So he'd have a penalty reduction, movement reduction. But yeah, nice detail. You can see the face there. You can see braiding on his coat. They are nice figures. So that's the human warband, as you can see. Rather nice. Next up is the Undead Pirates. And the Undead Pirates come with separate arms, and they need to be glued on. The arm comes with the weapon, but you then have to stick the arm with the weapon onto the body. But these recesses, there's recesses in the shoulder joints for the ball socket of the arm, of the upper arm, to fit the hole. And I found they were very easy to stick together. And for me, who is not over keen on sticking metal figures together, these worked. So that's a real positive for the Undead Pirates. As we said before, in that the Undead Pirates come with a sort of a necromancer, and this one's like a voodoo lady holding up a voodoo doll, and she controls the skeletons. And you can knock down the skeletons, but they may get back up, and that's her job, is to raise the skeletons. As you can see, nice, they are nice. Yeah. I'm hoping I can do them justice when I paint them. But there's a skeleton, and I do like it. I thought the arms were a little bit spindly, but they're not too spindly at all. I thought they might break, but they don't seem to be that brittle. Obviously can't throw them around, but they look in good proportion. Look at that, I like that. Wow. These are going to be fun, I think. But the equipment is nice that you get. You can see the spine in the background. Yep. These are good, aren't they? I think they are going to. I think they're going to paint something nice. I've seen a couple of pictures on Twitter where people have painted them up. Certainly painters who are better than I am, and they really do look nice. So that's the Undead Warband. What the game is geared around a lot is treasure. So let's have a look what else you get with the pack. What you can get is white metal chests for your treasure troves, and these are numbered 1, 2, 3. So I reckon they can be used within scenarios. But yeah, nice little chest. Nice detail work on them. All a bit bright there. Oh look, little padlock on it. There are some nice little touches in the Pirates and the bits and pieces that come with the game, or that you can buy for the game anyway. So those are the chests. Next you get, I'm just going to open this one up, are your coins and things. All metal tokens. And you get reload, acted, some sort of coins, wound marker. Yeah, so action things and a little bit of coins and that for different bits. Yeah, so they're quite nice. And certainly they could be painted up and sprayed, and yeah, not bad. So these are things you can get with the game, and I think you'll agree that it looks like it's been done quite professionally, which is always nice when you get sort of games and they've thought about what you need to play. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to have a bit of time to spray up the figures in my Halford. I'll do a bit of advertising for Halfords. When the game shop wasn't open and I couldn't get my primer from there, Halfords, a car and push bike shop in the UK, they do a grey acrylic primer, and I found that has been really good. It's only about £7, £7.50 or something like that a tin, and it's quite a big tin, and it's worked really well for the things that I've sprayed and painted up. Anyway, let's cut the video there, and I'll go and spray these up, and then you can have a quick look at them, what they look like, just with their undercoat on. So here are the figures, and I think you'll agree that they've undercoated really nicely, and you can see the detail now a bit more clearly on the picture stills. So here we have the human pirate band, and next up is the Undead Pirates. You can see nice detail. I'll probably be looking at using contrast paints on these skeleton bones for these ones. So yeah, really nice. So what's coming up? 28th of July is the Kickstarter for the new races. And that's the Scryers, the Undersea people, some more humans, and the Goblins. So looking forward to seeing these, and I think I may well have a dabble. So you've got a couple of orcs, got the Goblins, looking really nice. Anyway, look out for that Kickstarter on the 28th. I hope you enjoyed the little run through of the book and the figures, and if you did, give it a thumbs up, ask any questions below and I'll see if I can get the answer to them, and subscribe if you haven't, and till the next time, take care and we'll see you soon.